Hey now, it's Anthony Chivo with A&A Lawn and Mobile Car Wash Services. I'm getting a late start today. I usually get started at in between the hours of 7 and 8 o'clock, and it is now 10:26, and I'm not even started yet. Just got me some ice from my cooler. I got plenty of water, plenty of Gatorade. It's real hot in central Mississippi. We haven't got any rain in it's about 30 days. And when it did rain, if it did, it was scattered, and it was a quick downpour and it stopped, and the sun came out and dried it right back up like it never rained. Grass is real dry and burned out, brown. So, grass is not growing as fast, but I'm still cutting. Luckily, I'm still cutting. Nobody's told me, oh, don't worry about it this week. So, I'm still in the game, guys. I'm about to pull up to the first property of the day. And I'm going to stop out here and talk with you. Sit out here in my truck and talk with you guys for a second. And just really break it down how I started. And why I started my lawn care service and mobile car wash service. And like I said in the earlier video, I was a police officer, and I love being a police officer. I miss it. Don't get me wrong, I miss it, but that type of job keeps you away from your family a lot, and you have to work long hours just to make ends meet. And I just got tired of that lifestyle, working crazy hours, 12-hour, 16-hour days every day, just to bring home a decent check. And I started cutting yards about 4 years ago, and I've been cutting grass all my life, but I started doing it officially as a business about 4 years ago, and it has turned out pretty good for me. I make good money. I make way more money than I made at the police department, and I still have time to spend with my kids. I can set my own hours, and everything is just pretty much flexible. If I don't feel good one day, I can just tack it on to the next day, hire me some help, and tack it on to the next day. If you add it up by the hour, let's say you charge, let's say you get yourself up to a zero turn or walk behind, belt driven or hydro, you're going to be able to cut these yards a lot quicker. And if it's a yard that you cut all the time, you're going to be able to cut them a lot quicker. So it'll take you maybe 45 minutes, maybe an hour to do a yard, and you're charging anywhere from 30 to 65 bucks depending on the area and the size of the yards. You can make 30 to 60 bucks an hour, and I've never had a job where I made over $20 an hour. And like today, I'm gonna be cutting 3 yards, and these some nice size yards. They're not too big, but I'm gonna make about 175, 200 bucks off those 3 yards. And it may take me one of them, both these 2 yards I'm doing here on the same street, and then another one is maybe 5-10 minutes away. So I say about 4 hours I'll be done with everything. About 4 hours I almost made $200. So if I didn't work any overtime at the police department and just worked my base, just got my base salary, I think I was making maybe $120 a day. So it's a lot of things. It's a lot of pros and cons to the lawn care business, but in my opinion, the pros outweigh the cons. You have things like you have issues like your equipment breakdown, but over a period of time you'll learn how to care for your equipment to where you will have less breakdowns. I mean, they're gonna break down because you're using them for hours and hours. They're gonna break down, but you get more money, you get more clients, start making more money. You can buy you backup stuff and everything, and sometimes you just have to. Sometimes everything will break down. You would just be down to your 20-inch, and you be back where you started, and there's nothing wrong with that. You just have to do what you got to do. Another con is slow payers and people who don't want to pay, or you get stiffed. What I do is I text them the night before. I try to send text. Sometimes I forget, but for the most part, I try to send text messages to the clients that I'm cutting the evening before and say, hey, this is A&A Lawn Service. I'll be on your property sometime tomorrow to cut your grass. And most people will leave a payment in their grill, under a seat cushion in the backyard somewhere, under their mat, and or some will just pay you later. Now you got your slow payers, and you got your people who you have to chase down to pay. Those people, once you cut, this is what I do. When I cut their yard, let's say I cut their yard on a Friday. When I cut their yard on a Friday, I'll leave an invoice. And I also have a Square reader, and with Square, you can send an invoice to their email, and they can pay it by debit card, which is so convenient. And I will send them an invoice by email. Okay, so I'll send them a text message and say, hey, I sent your invoice to your email. Please pay at your earliest convenience. You don't have to be mean and rude about it, but that's the same thing as saying please pay ASAP, as quick as you can. If they don't pay that day, and that's on a Friday, so I won't bother them Saturday, I won't bother them Sunday. Monday, I send them another text, hey, I sent your invoice, I see how you hadn't paid it yet, did you forget or something like that? And usually they'll go and pay it. If they don't respond and they don't pay it, I just count it as a loss, and I'm not going back to their yard again. And usually they'll pay you. They'll probably pay you before you get the yard again, or they'll call you and say, hey, you didn't cut my yard, and then you have to let them know, like, hey, well, I'm not coming back until you pay me, because I'm not finna get past one cut. You're gonna stiff me one time. I'm not gonna keep cutting your yard, and I'm not gonna get paid. So that's not how this business works. I got to get paid after each service. Okay. Let me think of another con. Well, another con is sometimes you get tired. This job, it does get tiring. It does get hot out here. The rain, and the rain can be a good thing. Now, if it just rains non-stop for a week, that sucks. But if it rains, let's say around maybe 4 or 5 in the evening, 2-3 days a week, and it's not heavy and the sun comes out, that's good, because it's going to keep the grass growing, it's going to keep it cut. And I can't think of too many other cons, but like I say, the pros to me outweigh the cons. And I learned real quick on how to price yards and how to get what I'm worth. I learned that very quick. Yeah, you get out there a couple and you underbid some yards, and you're gonna suffer for it. After a while, you can look at a yard and you're gonna know what it's gonna take to cut it. And don't get down on yourself if you underbid a yard. You know, we all done it. You underbid a yard, and you know you just have to keep cutting it for that price, and then you maybe can go up the next season, or they don't agree, you just drop them. You know, trust me, it's plenty of more out there. You know, it's some people looking for you right now. They're looking for you right now to cut their yard. They're looking for you. They're looking for a good person, and they're gonna find you, and you're gonna find them. Well, I'm gonna show some footage of me cutting this yard. It's not gonna be too fancy of a video. It's just gonna be me cutting. That's about it. So, I see you guys on the more.
Yeah, the first thing I like to do when I start mowing is I like to outline the perimeter of the yard, and by doing this, it gives you a better cut, and also it gives you enough room to turn around. One thing about these walk behinds, sometimes the deck is designed in a way that it doesn't allow you to just go back and forth without making that perimeter first. Sometimes you'll miss spots of grass by doing that, but when you outline that perimeter, it gives you enough room to turn around, and you don't miss any patches of grass. This is a belt driven walk behind X Mark 36-inch, and I had it for about 2 years, and it's a 2013 model. It's been a pretty good mower to me. I also have a walk behind Skag. It has some issues though, but I'll be getting that fixed in the future. I say if you plan on doing this, you know, for your business and to earn a living, I suggest that you get, you know, a walk behind. You know, hydro or belt driven, it really doesn't matter to me. A lot of people say that the hydros are much nicer. I've never operated one, but in the future I may get one. But the more clientele you get, you're gonna need a bigger mower, and you're gonna need something that you can cover a lot of ground quickly. Cause you know, you can do it with a 21-inch, 22-inch. I've seen people do that, but I mean, could you imagine cutting 10 yards with the with the 21-inch? So, you know, once you get your money up and everything, you know, it'll be a good idea to go ahead and invest in you a walk behind. And also that sulky that I'm standing on, it makes a big difference. It saves your legs because you're gonna be doing a lot of walking with that weed eater. Yeah, but I like the lawn care lifestyle. It's very flexible. It gives me time to take care of, you know, my personal things while I'm cutting. You know, most jobs, you know, you got to be accounted for, and it's when you at work, you're there. You know, some jobs, you know, are flexible, but for the most part they're not. And that's one thing I like about the flexibility. I'm outside, I get to meet different people. Instead of being, you know, trapped in the office all day, I'm outside, you know, earning a living. And you know, one thing I noticed, you know, when I run into people that I haven't seen in a while, you know, mainly people I used to work with at the police department, they'll say things like, hey, what you doing? And I'll tell them, you know, I'm cutting grass, you know. And they'll be like, cutting grass, you know, and they kind of say it like it's a bad thing. But the funny thing about it is I'm actually making more money than them. I mean, I know how much they make. And, I don't say anything, but I make more money than they do. I mean, what it takes them 12 months to make, I make it in 8. And then I have the winter off pretty much. I mean, I have some jobs here and there. I also do mobile detailing. So, I may have a detail job somewhere, or clean up some leaves, or clean up or something like that. I mean, you can turn this business into a year-round thing. And don't let nobody discourage you from doing something like this, because a lot of people, if they never done it before, they don't know what it takes to do it, and they don't know the ins and out of it. I mean, like I said earlier in the truck, you can make a pretty good living. It just depends on how hard you want to work. I mean, you can go out to every neighborhood in your area and pass out flyers. You can put decals on your truck. You can hand out cards. You can go out there and make some contacts, and the more the more that you're out there working, and the more that you're seen, the more you're advertising yourself. As you can see, I had the decals on my truck, and those decals has gotten me a lot of business. I mean, when people see me, they know what I'm about. They know what I do. It makes me approachable. My number is on the truck, so they can text me if they don't want to stop and talk to me. And I make sure that every yard that I cut it like it's my own. I take my time and make sure it's done right, because that's also part of your advertising. See, my truck is sitting out there, and if somebody's, visiting somebody in the neighborhood and they drive by, and they be like, man, that yard looks good. And when they see my truck parked out in front of it, they're going to write my number down and may give me a call. And when people just call me out the blue, I ask them, hey, how'd you hear about me? They be like, oh, I saw your truck. I was behind you yesterday. And, I know that my stuff is working. I mean, when you spend money on advertising, it pays for itself. It's paid for itself. I've never lost money advertising. I always made money advertising. So I should be finishing up in this yard in a minute, and I'll be talking to you a little bit more in the truck. See you soon.
Last yard, I got held up on that first yard. That yard is actually on my street that I live on. One of my neighbors was asking me about her sprinkler system. So I'm not an expert in sprinkler systems. I do have a sprinkler system in my home, and I know a little bit about it, just from the experiences I've had with mine. Couldn't help her out, but I tried to call some people that knew, but got in touch with somebody that can help her. Real good friends with her. We talked for a little while, so that held me up a little bit, but it's no biggie. I don't have much to do today. It's just an easy day. I'm taking my time. As you saw at the first yard, I wasn't even mowing fast. I might have my belt-driven walk behind on third gear, so I wasn't mowing fast. Just taking my time. So I'm headed to the last one. This yard is not that big. And I'm going to zoom through this one and take me a good shower. And probably play video games with my son. Oh yeah, and give me something to eat. Yeah, you work up an appetite when you're working out here in this heat. Well, see you guys at the last yard.
I tell you, this is my favorite part of the day. And the reason this is my favorite part of the day is because it's my last yard. I'm almost done. I know I'm about to go home and take me a shower. I'm proud of myself. I done made me some money today. And I'm going to get up in the morning and do it all over again. You know. And, back to what I was talking about when people, some people really put this type of living down. Like, they don't understand the ins and outs of it. And, you always dirty. It's kind of like the equivalent to like a janitor in some people's mind. It's not a prestigious, it doesn't sound like a prestigious career, like a doctor, lawyer, accountant, things like that. But you can make the same amount of money that those people who chose those careers make by doing this. You're just gonna have to work, but you can definitely make the money. You can make 30, 40, 50, 60, even $100,000 a year cutting grass. Some people don't believe it, but it's been done. I know a few people that's doing it right now. But I'll tell you a little bit about myself. I have 2 degrees. I received my bachelor's in criminal justice in 2001 from Jackson State University, and I just received my MBA from Belhaven University in 2015. It was May of this year. So I'm proud of myself, and I learned a lot from the business program. And mainly I learned things like diversification, marketing strategy, things like that, and that's really what stuck with me. Now, did I need that MBA to start my business? No, I didn't. I didn't need it, but it was good to have. It's just an asset. So, you guys with GEDs and high school diplomas, you can very well do this and be just as successful as the next person. So you don't need a degree to do this type, to run a business like this. But one thing that I started using immediately, after I learned it from my courses, is diversification, which basically means that you're going to be offering your clients and your customers more services, mainly services that are related to what you're already doing. For example, you're doing lawn care, so you can also do weed control, fertilizer, things of that nature. You can offer those services. I mean, if you're already cutting a yard and you say, hey, for an additional $30-40, I can put out to you some weed killer and kill all the weeds, and also put down fertilizer, and you can do this for them once a month. So you just gained an extra $30 in a visit And if you do this with all your clients, just imagine how much money you will make doing that. I mean, I also offer services like that. Also, I do mobile detailing. So I also let my customers know that, hey, I also detail cars. And, you know, I have quite a few that I cut their yards and I detail their cars. And, you know, I do pretty well. So I don't have to get a whole bunch of clients. You know, I can just keep those same clients and offer them more different services that will bring in more money for me. You know, it's just something to think about. Just give yourself something to think about. Diversification. You know, if there's something else that you can do that's somewhat related to what you're already doing. Like, you know, I've pressure washed decks, patios, houses. You know, fences. I've done all that. You know, I've had my pressure wash on the back of my truck, and I cut their yard, and after I cut their yard, I pressure wash their patio. Make another 40-50 bucks doing that. And, you know, made anywhere from 100 to 150 off on one yard. You know, it's convenient for them because they don't have to call somebody else, and you already been doing their yard and they trust you. So it just gives you something to think about. But, you know, I'm about to wrap it up, guys, and I see you at the next video. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe.